lights, and we don't have none of that stuff. We just
So that's the secret then, because it's been said that a lot of people who flash all type of money be the last one with it, but the real millionaires, they got Toyotas and Hondas, and you can't identify them. They ain't got no bling bling.
you.
No,
That's correct. We're around so many millionaires that don't look like millionaires, and you would not believe it. And the billionaire, listen, he's about as normal as me. A billion. He owned 10 factories, biggest blocks. I mean, like blocks, 10 of them. And we're like, just regular. We're talking. He's like, man, Enrique, let's take pictures. And I'm looking at him like, man, $1 billion. This is crazy.
and that billionaire, he's an Atlanta resident.
No, he's
No.
Chinese. He's Chinese, and he came all the way from Thailand to meet us. He flew all the way in to meet us, and came up to the store. And I didn't even know he was a billionaire. I thought he was a millionaire, but not a billionaire.
Well, tell the truth. We actually thought he was like a sales rep.
A sales rep.
We didn't even know that he's this big hot shot. We had no idea.
Because he kept calling, saying he just need to meet us. He would just need to meet us. And I was like, why would this guy want to meet us so bad? But I guess because our social media presence, and we're always online posting, and we try to get the word out. We promote Dent Tires a lot, and because of that, he said they watch us in Thailand. So then because we get from all over the country, from Africa, this Thailand, Russia. I mean, and it's amazing to have that type of engagement all over the place. Then I guess when we do all the interviews and things, people watch us on different platforms. But I always tell my wife, isn't this amazing? We just sell tires. That's all we really do. And this just came from selling some tires.
So somebody watching this interview, they're hearing billionaire meetups, 7-figure business, headed to $50 million. The next thing I'm going to do is figure out, well, where can I go buy some tires from so I can catch up? So what would you say about the tire space? Like, if I wanted to get started, how would I get started?
First of all, in the field that we're in, the space, wholesale is a niche market. It's about who you know and who knows you. In the beginning, we were not very profitable. In the very, very beginning, we were buying tires, making very small margins. And it took a very old customer that I befriended, and I tried to get a distribution deal with a distributor, because you need a distributor. You got to start with you got to have a distributor to get a good price for your tires. We have 12 now, but in the beginning we did not. We did not have. I guess you would say the connection or the plug. We didn't have it, and I called them, and one particular distributor I wanted to be with, and they basically said no. So when I told my associate about it, he says, tell you what, let me call them and let me have a conversation with them. He called and said, well, how much money do I spend with y'all? And they like, well, $5 million. He says, tell you what, I'm about to pull my account if you don't meet with Enrique Dent and Dent Tires. And the next day, they came and they took me out to eat, and I came home and told my wife, we got it. We got our first distribution deal. And that kind of was the start of us making profit. Now, I say that to say, you remember from the beginning, I said networking. A lot of people that we run into say, oh, I don't need anybody. I can do this by myself. No, you can't. She can attest to that. We always talk about the team. We always talk about who's around you. I always tell people, what did I say? You need a good lawyer, I got an accountant,
A good doctor.
and a good doctor. And if they are connected, they should know everybody else.
Yep.
You can have an accountant that don't know anybody. Yeah, but anybody can do bookkeeping. Anybody can do that. They need to be connected. So when you have a question, do you know such and such? Oh, let me call that person for you. Like my friend, when I said, hey, I'm just trying to get some distribution. Hold up. I know the president of the company. Let me call him. You need those type of people around. Not, oh, I'm going to do it all by myself. I'm going to grind it out for the next 20 years by myself. It don't have to be that long. We've been in business 5 years. Most business don't last 5. They don't last 12 months. We're celebrating 5 years in September. But we learn to network. We do better not sitting in our office. You know, when we're out and about, we're in the streets, we're meeting our distributors, we're meeting new customers. We do very well that way. We grow that way. Yeah, we do all the marketing promotion, all that stuff. We do that stuff too. But that's not what grew us. Our growth is organic.
Yep. And it's in the streets. It's, petting, rubbing on the pets, picking up the cats, rubbing them, shaking hands.
Let me tell you something. When guys are putting tires on trucks, we don't sit in the office. We come out there. We're looking at the truck with the customer. We're sitting there and, hey, man, you need a new mud flap. You need this. You need that. Oh, man, I didn't see that. Thank you, man. Build a whole new level of respect. And sometimes I see leaks on the motor. Hey, man, your seal is leaking right here. Oh, man, I didn't know that. We do. And then they say, well, I'm gonna tell my friend about you. I'm gonna tell my fleet manager about you. And it just keeps growing and growing and growing. But when I tell people about networking, I don't need a network. Everybody hating on me anyway.
Look, I'm eating this up right now. I just ate a salad today.
Yeah.
And it's weird, but just sitting here is like I'm getting filled, and it's just a weird feeling. But I'm literally enjoying everything. I wanna ask. A question came to my mind.
Sure.
While y'all were talking. Okay, the number one minority-owned tire distributor in Atlanta. So, Jocelyn, does that make you the first black woman, number one minority-owned, wholesaling sister in Atlanta?
Yes, it does. And I'm actually a unicorn because I'm not the owner that just stands on the sidelines. I'm actually touching these tires. So that 1.5 million we talking about, those 7 figures, I touched every single tire with the exception of the tires that were drop shipped directly to our customer. I touched every tire. I stacked every tire.
Let me tell you something. She told me, because she was in her office, and she says, I don't understand how I can help the company grow from sitting inside this office. And I said, well, you could just do this part and be complacent. She says, no, I need to be out there with you. I need to be out there with the guys. I need to be in the thick of it. I said, so what are you asking me? She says, well, you've shown me everything, but I need to, besides seeing it on paper, I need to touch the rubber. I need to learn the techniques. I need to learn the lingo. I said, so you want to be in the field with me, with all these men, all these mosquitoes, all this heat, you want to be out here? She said, yeah. I got a whole different respect from that point on. I started seeing my wife in a whole different light. Most men say, oh, man, women just sit at home and just take the money. Not my wife. If I touch a tire, she touch the tire. If I pick up a rim, she pick up a rim. No matter how much we have, no matter what she's done, no matter what she's accomplished, I got a lot of respect for that. So I don't know. A lot of people just don't look at it her way. They just think, well, man, if you got an opportunity to sit in the AC all the time and sit in your office, yeah, she could do that, but she likes meeting the customers, finding out their needs. Like, good example, I was not taking credit card payments at one time. When she came on board, she's like, let me automate this. Let's make us mobile. Let's get QuickBooks. Let's give the customers multiple forms of payment. Me, I didn't care. You can pay me with Cash App. Cash. I'm thinking it's trucking business, tire business. She's like, no, we're gonna make this a little bit more professional. I'm doing hand invoices. She's like, no. Let's make this convenient for our customer. Let me text them the invoice. Let me email them the invoice. We don't always have to use paper. I'm like, man, since she did that, now I can't see not doing it that way. Because people say, man, y'all level of professionalism, to which I owe to her, not me.
That's that corporate life.
Because I heard you say, Jocelyn, you come from the corporate background. Tell me about the background, before Dent Tires. You know what I mean? Take me through the beginning. a little bit about what you did in the past, and tell me the background before y'all got here.
Wow. Okay. So, how far back you want me to go?
Probably about maybe. Start me from the corporate world.
From the corporate world, okay. So I'll start back. I'll give you 14. No, I'll give you 15 years. Okay. The start of us. Okay. Well, first of all, I am a proud Georgia State University J. Mac Robinson College of Business alumni. Whoop whoop.
Wow, that's a lot of titles.
So yes, I graduated from Georgia State University. J. Mac Robinson College of Business with my risk management degree, with the focus in financial services, which is banking, the whole banking system, right? So I've done 25 years total, nothing but financial services, the banking, retail, branch banking, operational banking, wealth management, investment management. Yeah, I did the full thing. So I was working at a full service trust company. Did about 14 years there, and that's where I ended my career at. It was brutal. I will tell you that corporate America is not for the faint of heart. It is unforgiving. The cattiness that comes with the corporate life, I would say it's damaging. Okay. I literally had to do a lot of unlearning to relearn. And luckily, my husband, he's very patient with me because I'm passionate about what I do and the value that I bring. And when others do not see that value, I tend to get, I become distant and detached. And it looks as if I don't want to do the job, but I don't agree with the environment and I don't agree with the mindset. Because I'm all about doing good business, doing it the right way. And once you learn the system, then you can go in and try to make those tweaks and changes to it. But don't make people feel bad for what they do and what they don't know. Because in corporate will damage you. And like you said, like we were talking about earlier today, where you got to act like you know. Oh, boy, that phrase, fake it till you make it. Yeah, that was big. And I'm not with that. What I do today, I bring value. And it brings me joy to see these trucks out here rolling, these highways and byways being rebuilt, those dump trucks that are there. Some of those dump trucks are tires that we put on there. So that right there, it brings me so much joy. So when I left, well, I didn't even leave corporate. They kicked me out. I literally, I got kicked out of the Matrix.
Well, I don't have any degrees. I don't have all that stuff. I'm not fancy.
It sounds very impressive, but it's just a lot of work.
I'm just old collard green chicken eating.
country.
Old country dude, you know.
Oh, Southern boy.
Picking plums, barefooted. That's me. Yeah.
Playing cup ball.
Eating huckabucks in the heat. Yeah, in the country. Oh, man.
Yeah, we do have an interesting love story. City girl meets country boy.
You try to make it seem like I was in the woods barefooted, like Bigfoot or somebody. Golly. Wow. She rescued me. Oh, man. I'm like me, Tetris, you, woman. Man. Yeah. Oh, my God.
Tell me about tell me about Tetris. Tell me.
What? Okay, we gonna. Okay, let's start. Okay, let's go back. We're gonna go way back in the first start of my professional career. When I was younger, of course, came from Macon, and Macon, Georgia. I wanted to. I discovered hip hop, and I Run DMC, all of that, and LL Cool J, but never thought I could ever become a rapper. So fast forward, got a job at a barbershop called Hairmasters on Campbellton Road. And at that barbershop, I released my first record, which was Funk Overdose. And the Funk Overdose cassette, I think every customer that sat in my barber chair, because I can cut hair. And I went to school to PTC Career College for business administration and being a barber and a cosmetologist. But I released my first cassette as Tetris. And the reason I called myself Tetris because I used to like to play the game Tetris. So my first little record company I started was called Stacking Blocks Record. Now keep in mind I had no money. So, but I made this little cassette. I went to a little place and printed up the cassettes in little cases and had a few posters. But surprisingly, I sold 500 copies of it. And that was the first thing. And see, I was like, I was thinking of cliques like the Wu-Tang Clan and all them, but of course, first early influences Run DMC, LL Cool J, Dents, Slick Rick, and all right. So now, fast forward, I meet my brother K Chia, and we write Set It Off, and the Set It Off that which was an up tempo record, like a bass record, like Luke, and I wrote, initially came up with it for him, and he's like, "No, we need to tweak it and do it together." And I was like, man, I just want to be a CEO and try to learn how to run a record label, and you do it. Well, that didn't work out with him doing it by himself. So we did it together. We found out we had chemistry. And that's the first time I really worked with somebody, and I had chemistry. So we would go to places like BW3 at Greenbrier Mall and Club 731 and Club 559 and perform at open mic. And we would, and then a chance meeting with Diamond D, B-Rock, and all them, and DJ Smooth, and we was able to produce the original beat for Set It Off, and that changed everything. Bumped into Mike Roberts at V103, and got the record played. Then bumped into DJ Jelly, Big Oomp, just a whole slew of DJ. They just embraced the record and just stopped playing it. Jerry Smoking B. Next thing I know, I'm doing shows with, we doing shows with some of my idols. I'm doing shows with like Airbnb Rakim, and I think I did, Cool J. I did Run DMC. I've done this stuff with everybody from Bone Thugs to Harmony to Biggie to Puffy to 8 Ball to MJG. And it just got out of hand because, the record just kept getting bigger and bigger. Now, keep in mind, this is a record that run in a barbershop. Didn't ever think it would be what it became, and it played in the club, strip club, regular club, and mix shows for 4 years straight. So, and with no budget, just
What's the name of the record?
Set It Off. And then after Set It Off, I met a group called the Crowd Pleasers. Me and my friend John put together a company called Intrepid, and we put out I Bet You Won't Get Crunk. We put that out next.
You put out?
Yeah,
Wow.
I own half of it. So.
Wow.
The group is called the Crowd Pleasers. And so put that out. So now I got Funk Overdose first album. Then we got the Set It Off. And on the B-side, Make It Shake Like Jello. We're traveling all over the Southeast doing this song. So now I think I'm a little mogul, right? So, I'm feeling myself. So we do the set, I Bet You Won't Get Crunk. So everybody knows I Bet You Won't Get Crunk. But before I Bet You Won't Get Crunk came, it was Set It Off. And Set It Off, I'm opening up, I'm doing shows with Ursha and Aaliyah and T-Bar, TLC, so we had got so big, we were doing Coliseum shows off a record that we made at a barbershop on a little bitty microphone with about this much, a little 4-track. We made it on a 4-track now, like a Tascam 4-track and an SB 1200. So, I didn't think it would do anything, but we ended up doing Melly Yellow commercials. And keep in mind, we had a manager, no record deal, but then, of course, the label started coming. So I had the chance to sign with Face Records and all these other people. And, it just kept getting bigger and bigger. Then we dropped the, K-Chin Tetris record, the whole full-length album, This Is What You Want. But I went on and just kept dropping them. I did my Ain't Nothing record. And like the house we live in now, bought the house, off the record because we sold, I sold about 350,000 records independently at $7 a record. So I had 7 distributors. I had Bayside, Ichiban, Triad, all these different distributors that, Southern Distribution. And so I was on the same, me, Pastor Troy, Sammy Sam, Baby D, all of us was with the same distributor. Ludacris, we all started Yin Yang, we all started together, with the same distributor. So, and it just kept going from there. Next thing I know, like I said, I remember watching. I'm telling you a funny story. I was watching Crush Groove. So when I got the call to do the show with Run DMC, I couldn't believe it because I just watched Crush Groove. And I was like, man, imagine this. So I'm talking to Run and Jam Master Jay, and Jam Master Jay's like, man, I really like that record, man. I was like, man, you know my music? And, because I'm looking at them like gods, man. They like the epitome of hip hop. He said, yeah, I heard your music, man. I like it. So I was like, man, this is crazy. Because in my mind, the song is this big, but it actually is this big. It's really, really big.
What type of money you saw from that record? I hear you say you bought your house, so that means
the real money didn't come into Ain't That album and the shows and that stuff and selling all those records, and then writing records with Freak Nasty and then writing records with him, and so you got somebody that got like a record like The Dip, and then we do other albums and we take it to Selecto hits, and there was times that my distributors write me some major checks. They were pretty nice, pretty.
A lot of people from the hip hop community report that they can't keep their money. So you a self-made, unsigned.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I gotta give some credit to Master P. He helped me out tremendously. Master P, Tony Draper, and Puffy. So Puffy taught me how to do marketing and promotion. Master P showed me about distribution, and Tony Draper just pressing, understanding distributors too. So, and I got a chance to talk to everybody, but Master P was the one that told me, do you, and they'll follow. And he kind of told me, want me to tell you what made the money? And I'm just going, and I say this to my wife all the time, just do you. I say this all the time. But he told me, now we doing a show, and I'm his opening act. And he says, so, he's talking to me for a long time. This is when he had the Ice Cream Man song. And he says, tell me your whole situation. So I told it to him, and I'm like, man, I'm just trying to get on. I'm trying to get. He said, well, you actually on because you doing a show with me, so you got to be doing something because you're getting booked. So I was like, well, yeah, I'm out here. Everybody know me. I go to the radio station when I want to. I travel around the Southeast, but I'm not big like the New York rappers. I was a regional rapper. And he says, tell you what, why don't you go back to your distributor? I got a way for you to get bigger. And tell them you want to negotiate a deal through distribution. So he told me the plan. The plan was to go back to my distributor, negotiate to go to the one stops. And then the one stops, did business and sold records to the chain stores. And at the time they had things like Peppermint Music, I think Champion and Camelot Music, all these different music stores. So the ladies would get on the phone and convince the stores to bring in new product. So we negotiated through my distributor for me to get the record played inside the store while people shopping for their own music, put my CDs at the cash register so when you're checking out, and was on the counter. And I had a poster at the door when you first walk in. So he said all those different points, people seeing it and hearing it on the loudspeaker while they're shopping for their favorite artist, by the time they get to the register, they humming the record. So 50,000 copies. That I had to give it to. He didn't even know he gave me the information, and it was years before I bumped into him again. I mean, I don't even know if he even remember that because he was so young. I was young, but I literally did it that way. I went to my distributor and said, "Can we do that?" So we bought donuts, Krispy Kreme donuts, and coffee for all the ladies. I stood up at the podium and I said, "Please, if you guys could just do that for me," and they did it. They made those phone calls. They negotiated. So I remember at one point I had the number one song in Atlanta and with no radio play. I looked at my BDS. I had one spin on B103. One spin. And I was selling all these copies. And so when I got the money, I was like, wow, this is, crazy. I mean, and now I ain't spent for $7,000 to make the album. And here's the thing, I wrote every song pretty much. I had a few features. I had a few features. Chill was on it, Lay Low, Freak Nasty, but for the most part, I rapped the whole album. I produced every beat and got it mixed. and put it out. $7,000.
Hey, listen, shout out to all the listeners. I want to say thank you all so much, for, just giving me this opportunity, and it actually started by meeting y'all. We talked about it, and I said, I never thought about doing like, a podcast or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I know so many people that have stories. I have a story, and why not talk about it? Why not just share it with the world? I never thought that, I would be taking a leap like that, and y'all encouraged me to. So, I want people to know out there that see what I do and they're inspired by me and they watch my videos and all that type of stuff. I want you all to know that these are my mentors. These are who I pull from. This is who I call like, hey, Dent, this is going on, that's going on. What should I do? Let me follow your footsteps. I have to stay as a student no matter how far I go, no matter what level I get to. I always have to stay as a student. So, with that being said, I want to thank all of you guys for watching and listening. And if you enjoyed this, I want you all to go check out the full podcast. I'll have everything linked down below. And welcome to Network Success Atlanta. Again, I'm going to say that. I'm going to make sure I say it again so it is very clear. This is Network to Success Atlanta. This is just part one, meeting with Dent Tires. And again, it's been a pleasure. It's been a blessing to my ears. And all of you that are watching this, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, go listen to the full podcast, and comment down below. And shoot, with that being said, tell them, let them know something on the outro. If you want to rap, I don't know. I know you probably. I'm gonna let that go.
No, well, some dudes. Well, I guess what the way I rap now is probably considered tame and considered what they play now, right?
Right.
Yeah, because it's tame, man. Golly, back in the day, people was like, "Oh man, you got a dirty mouth, man." But now, hey, it's nothing. But I would say this: my wife and I are avid believers in enjoying the journey. You got to enjoy the journey, and you have to always continue to learn. You have to network. Keep God first. Money is not everything. You need it, but make sure that you're enjoying what you're doing. I just had this conversation with my son, and I said, "Son, I don't want to be the guy that makes a bunch of money, but I'm unhappy with my life and my life choices. So you have to be happy. You have to be proud. You have to of what you've done, what you're doing, what you do every day. Don't take advantage of people, because I see people hide behind the word, this is just business. I told my son just recently, I said, son, I couldn't take money from a 98-year-old lady if I be here at her house because I got some more rental property, but I made a $20,000 profit. I'm happy about that. I don't mind going toe-to-toe to negotiate with another man my age, 20, 30-year-old, when the battle of wits. But I just can't take advantage of people. I'm a straight shooter, straight up and down. I believe in family. I'm a family man, as honest as I can be. I love my wife, love my son. I don't hide from the fact that I am married. I don't play the field. I'm not in the streets. I don't have any outside. Well, I'm going to tell you another thing. If you want to be successful, keep away from all the drama. Get you one woman. No drugs. Just go to work, clean body, clean mind, clean spirit, sleep good. You'll be okay. You'll make it. You'll do good.
So that's the $1 million recipe, y'all.
You got anything to say, babe?
Yeah, I would say, be sure you guys enjoy the journey. There is so much joy in it. A lot of people look at the destination. The destination is just you getting there, but you have to keep elevating. It is an elevation, okay? Evolution is real, guys. Evolve yourself. Learn from people. Support your networks, because your network is definitely your net worth. Seriously. And go follow us, guys. Can I plug us real quick? Please follow us on all social media platforms, and we have a real good surprise coming for you guys. So just follow us at Dent Tires LLC on all social media platforms. We're on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. Yeah, LinkedIn, we're just professionals. Jocelyn Dent and Enrique Dent on LinkedIn. And that's it, guys.
And we have the e-commerce store.
Yeah, that's the little secret that we got coming out for you guys. We're in the works. It's being worked on right now.
We're gonna have all the links down below, y'all. So from whatever social media you like, they are hard workers. So we're gonna have everything linked down below where you guys can follow. So go do me a favor and do that. They're a wealth of knowledge. Subscribe to their pages, learn, and get in contact with them. We went over a lot today, and I know some of y'all, got a little investment to the side, and you want to go start you something up. So contact them, and hey, they good people. Obviously they here, and they gave me the opportunity. So it don't hurt but to try and to see where you can get to. So
that's right, guys. Don't stand in your way. Get out the way. Don't be afraid to ask questions. We're open books. If we can't get to you at that moment, trust me, drop us a DM or a text. We'll definitely get back to you, especially if you're on that real business. If you're on a real business, we'll definitely help